just 2 weeks ago and played out a thriller. Just 4 points separated them on that occasion. Will we get a similarly tight contest today? It's wet weather footy for this one. I'm Andrew calling the action here, and joining me for the big game, we're rolling out the big guns for his annual trip to the commentary box. Head of AFL Tasmania, Damien Gill.
Thank you, Andrew. What a pleasure to be with you to call this one. You touched on it just there, so close just a couple of weeks ago. Brilliant preview for today's clash. They finished the season on the same number of points, and less than a kick separated them, so it couldn't be better set up, really, Andrew, for what should be an absolute cracking clash. And the ground here at Devonport doesn't look like it's in too bad condition. Of course, it's been some wild weather in recent times across Tasmania, but looks in decent nick for what should be, as I say, a cracking clash between two really strong outfits.
Yeah, certainly. We'll see what impact the weather has. It's been a very wet weekend across the state. Wynyard getting up 7-2 to 6-4 last time they met, so small shots for Penguin in that one, but Wynyard getting the job done. We'll see if that accuracy remains in such a big occasion with the conditions. But we look at the teams today and just stars littered throughout both these sides. A lot of players who made up that Tasmanian representative squad in the recent games. And it's a real powerhouse region of women's football in the state, the Northwest, isn't it?
It is. They've been punching above for some time as the two teams line up the pre-game formalities. Not sure whether we'll get an anthem here, Andrew.
It looks like we will.
There we are, saying the anthem. And the two teams fired up and ready to go. Yeah, two star-studded teams, as you touched on. The number of state players across the board here, and a region that has punched above its weight division when it comes to women's footy, particularly given the pathway in the Northwest Coast still has some levels to be added into it. They've made such great progress in such a quick amount of time on the coast in terms of women's footy, and some quality players from the region. Yeah,
some of them on your screen there. Olivia Smith, captain of Wynyard, one of the best midfielders in the state. She's going to be crucial to their hopes today. Tani Schultz and Emily Saywood, co-captains of Penguin, and that's going to be a fascinating matchup in midfield today. Certainly you feel the Saywood siblings are going to have some say on this match. There are a few pair of siblings out there today in both sides that should have quite a bit of an impact. Libby and Chloe Haynes also for Penguin, two absolute stars, and we know capable at either end of the park, both of them.
Yeah, absolutely. I think the Saywoods and the Hayneses for Penguins' side of the equation are going to be crucial, and if they climb on top, it could be the two Blues afternoon. But I just think this is the sort of game that's going to go deep regardless. There's so much quality across the board, and we're in for a real treat when it comes to probably some of the best women's footy on offer within our state. So I can't wait.
Absolutely, and on a wet day, plenty of stoppages. I expect Charlie Vandenberg to be a big player for Wynyard. She's lining up in the ruck here. Penguin going to need to try and negate her influence. I think fair to say probably would have been Tasmania's ruck for those rep games had she been fit for them. Great to see her back out there for this finals campaign.
It's a big in for Wynyard.
The umpire gets us underway in the Northwest Grand Final. Neither ruck able to take clean possession out. It's kicked forward here. Wynyard. And ball Back to Davis, sends him inside 50 for the first time this afternoon. Haynes got a hand there. Amy Bissett, leading goal kicker in the competition, looking to get to work. Trying to bust through Haynes, force the handball backwards. Now an opportunity for Humphreys. And a half kick away, but now charging back the other way is Purton, who just bulldozes through. It's hot in the kitchen early on here. The prolific Smith out after it, fires out a handball looking for Hoiberg-Cox. Goes back in for it. Going to be forced to a stoppage there. Moody laying the tackle.
So Emily Saywood getting up. Balled up, attacking 50. The Cats. Vandenberg down. Smith pounces on it. The ball's blocked. They wrestle for the footy. And then hands and knees. Force the kick out. Socket effort. It's gathered well by Davis. Kick inside 50 now. And it was well chopped off. They'll rebound now. Penguin. Good kick out. Finds Taylor. Taylor. Just outside defensive 50. Searching ball. Off hands as Saywood. Block ball. Good pressure applied. Good tackle there. Bouncing now. It's cut off. And it's with Taylor again. She's got herself in some trouble. That's a terrific tackle. Just would not let her go. Absolute magnificent tackle there by Moody. Gets up to take her kick. Great pressure early from the Cats. Andrew Cooling.
Relentless tackling there from Moody. She'll send the Cats inside 50 for the second time this afternoon. The mark is plucked by Nikki Ellis. A good pair of hands there. And she'll go back for goal. Opportunity to open the scoring here.
Just good body work, wasn't it? Did it early and then shielded the ball. Great mark.
So can Ellis get Wynyard off and running in the grand final here? It's working back. It's done a little too much on the breeze there. Drifts through for a minor score.
That's the watch, I think. Andrew is the breeze. Certainly had a say on where that kick ended up.
Really took a hold of it. Looked like a pretty good effort, but just kept going.
So Lee from full back. Beyond the arc, the kick goes. Off hands, Smith. A panic kick inside 50. No one really laid claim to it early doors. Kick now swung towards goal. It'll bounce out of play. Stoppage inside 50. As Ellis did her best to try and track it down. Boundary line beating all. So ball up to part-time ruck. And Lee go at it. Lee just taps it straight out of play. So it'll be rinse and repeat.
Winning the territory battle early on here. Get something to show for it on the scoreboard. Clearing kick from Dennis. Almost found Saywood, couldn't quite reel it in. Smith out after this one. Bustling in though was Purton. Purton looking to charge off half-back, and she does so. Just clears it up the corridor. Tumbling out the back for Whelan. Experienced customer at the back here for the Cats. She changes direction. It's a wide searching kick though to the favour of the opposition. Gathering it there was Saywood. Drives them up towards the half-forward line. Oh, dropping the mark there. Probably should have had that one. Was Matthews, stripped of the football by Pringle. Goes back in, lays a strong tackle, and that's going to be holding the footy. Nicely done by Amali Wood. Probably too far out to score here though, so she'll just square one up. Had a teammate wide open inside 50. Might have been taken without it. Play continues. Emily Saywood with room to manoeuvre. Driving towards goal, but she just didn't quite catch it right, and it's through for a behind.
No, just would like that one again, I reckon. Saywood had probably a bit more time than she realised. Good pressure inside 50 from Penguin. Really hot tackling. So from full back it'll be Whelan. Experienced customer, as you said, Andrew, a leader of this Wynyard team. That's a good spot-up kick. Haynes there in screen, of course, a real force in the previous final. 5 goals. She'll need to be on song today. Through hands, invites a crowd, centre wing, climb on top, and the umpire says enough of that, give it to me. Lee in the ruck up against Vandenberg. Vandenberg gets front position, drops it off, and then butters up with a tackle. A good, fierce tackle there from Vandenberg, who, of course, had a stint over in WA this season. Would have learnt a lot from her time over in Western Australia. Lee wins this one down through hands. No one can really get clean position. It's Haynes and Vandenberg battling for it. Stoppage, stoppage, stoppage may be the name of the day, Andrew.
Yeah, I think we're going to have plenty of them given these conditions. Just towed forward there and finds a mark. Half forward, an opportunity to go forward here via Haynes. We'll just set up inside 50 or dropping that one there was Wood. Kick doesn't quite clear the area. Wynyard should be able to gather and repel here, just ducking under and getting the high contact free kick. There's Bethany Taylor just getting right there on Charlie Davis, making you know she's in a game. Kick just eluded, so spins out the back. Well, Moody gathers, tumbles it up towards the half-forward line. Haynes working hard and covering plenty of territory early on. She's quite happy to just take that one across and get the throw in. Now a team to set up behind the ball here.
Good pressure there from Bissett. Amy Bissett, of course, another Tasmanian representative from this region.
Over 50 goals this year, Bissett, as Smith won't quite be able to track that one down and it's out of play once more.
One of the more dangerous small forwards getting around. Really quality player. On a day like today with a greasy ball, heavy underfoot, very important. She has a good day. Lee gets good position on Vandenberg. And Smith, as she always is, in and under and applying a tackle to make sure her opponent would not get far in Smith of the opposite team, as again it's in congestion. It will be yet another stoppage. So one apiece as it stands. KG opening. Two even teams finish the ladder on the same number of points. Well matched as Moody gathers this one. Good tackle by Lee. Just climbs on top. The umpire says, I'm getting used to this. He throws it up again. Vandenberg tries to move early. Lee was up for the task. Gathering now. Good tackle applied by Appleby. And Moody in there again. She's been in the thick of the action. Really good tackling so far. Real showcase in this game as Smith squirts out a handball. Immediately the set upon was Taylor. Really good tackle. Again, the tackling a feature. Quick hand off now for Smith. Inside 50 she goes. The numbers are in Penguins' favour. Bissett the target. Couldn't quite grab it. Streaming through there was Dennis. Socket away. It's a skidding pass. It'll be picked up by Vandenberg. She draws a crowd. Coming through was Haynes. She's got a problem now. And she'll get a free kick for her troubles. It should take gleefully and just reset now for the two Blues.
A little trip there as spoiling that one was Whelan. Ball stays in. Shepherded there for Davis to pick up and just bite off some territory. Chaos ball up towards the half-forward line. Sweeps the handball to the outside, and now they'll kick it off the wing. Didn't get too much purchase on that one. Fortuitously found its way through to Jodie Revel, and she put it onto the chest of Haynes. Spilled that one, but has time to go back and recover it. Looks up, assesses the options, and drives it up towards half-forward line. Took an unkind bounce, but dealing with it really well was Poke. The pressure is red hot, though. You don't have that long to get rid of the footy. Holding the ball called again. And this time it's Imogen Moore, the beneficiary. She can send Penguin inside the forward 50 here.
Want to see more of that, that's for sure, from Imogen.
She drives this one inside the forward 50. It was well defended by Whelan. Couldn't quite complete the transaction, though. Johnson was lurking, now laying a tackle. Ball spills out for Smith. She's immediately wrapped up. No prior opportunity, says the umpire, as it's cleared on out of there. Fighting away in front there was Pay. She's buffeted off the football. And it's going to be locked up for another stoppage at half forward. You do not have long in this game. The pressure red hot. We'd expect nothing less in a grand final. The heat very much on early on. Vandenberg just barges the opposing ruck rebel out of the contest there. Smith laying a tackle, but the kick finds its way inside the forward 50, off hands. Fired across the face there by Dennis, just out into wide open space. Saywood wouldn't sit for her. Haynes in there. They should be able to get clear here. Pope just got the handball away. Some support comes. And eventually it's going to be locked in. Another stoppage.
It is a hot footy. What a beauty this is. Don't let the scoreline fool you. This is a contest and a half as Vandenberg just runs under that ball. Comes out the back. Pope's been busy. She pokes this one forward. Down to Moody. She streams by a couple. Gusto kicks forward. Numbers are in the favour of Penguin. It was really good contest provided from Bissett. Makes it a sloppy kick out of defence for Penguin. Smith there tackling. Oh, that was an interesting effort. Could have maybe had a claim for a free kick there, Brown. Swung off it. The umpire will have it. Hot contest this. Tell you what, Smith covering some ground. Oh, knee into the side of Vandenberg in the contest. Revel in the ruck contest really left one on Vandenberg. They'll go again. She gets up gingerly. She wins this tap. Haynes spent what she hadn't earned. Swinging kick forward now for Wynyard. Hard ball to handle. It's gathered by Radford. She drops it off to Schultz. Now Haynes has a problem. Back for Schultz. She draws a crowd. Pringle all over her. It's gathered at ground level, but not for long, Appleby. They jump on top. And another stoppage. There's been plenty so far, and we're only early into this contest. Umpire puts it back up. Vandenberg, good hit out. Smith again, couldn't quite grab it. Pushed off by Haynes. Gives it to her sister. Driving ball out of defence. Bouncing through. Couldn't be gathered by Bryan. She tries again this time. Just spills it out. Johnson with immediate pressure. Great tackle applied on Saywood, who was trying to get away, but Poke was there for company.
Vandenberg unopposed this time, but won it straight down to Haynes, who gets the clear and kick round the corner, finds Shania Saywood. Pair of hands, and she'll just hold up and wait for a few options to develop. Now launches it inside the forward 50, but that's chopped off, nicely intercepted there by Poke, who wastes no time. Low kick out of defence. Look to cut back through the corridor here, and they'll go right down the middle once more. Park behind the football though was Revel. She intercepts.
Well, the team's just lacking a bit of composure in this one, Andrew.
Yeah, those moments where you do get some time, you need to make them count, because there's going to be a lot of just biting off territory from the contest, and you do have time to assess your options.
She'll have 30 today, I reckon.
Need to find them. Smith, she's well on her way. She's already had half a dozen. That one, not one of her best though, just missing the target and trickling out of play. And it's an absolute arm wrestle here in the opening 13 minutes 40, just a behind a piece, but a gripping contest as Gibbons will look to send Penguin forward once more. Finds the marking target. That's nicely done by Haynes. Haynes, the high ball inside the arc. Couldn't find a target. Saywood got a handball away. All good tackle there. Saywood pressuring once again and just driving. Hoiberg cocks into the ground. Umpire spotted something here though. A free kick going the way of Penguin.
I don't know if that was off the ball or downfield or what it would have been. It's Emily Saywood with the kick.
See if she can go the journey here. It would take her best from around about 40 out. Opts just to set it up instead, and that's a great option. Finds Haynes. Just leading out into the space. That was really well thought out there by Saywood. Saw the open grass and just put it there.
Well thought out and well disguised. I actually thought she was just going around an arc just to get a bit more distance on the kick, but it was actually shaped perfectly just to hit the leading lane of Chloe Haynes, and now she's got to do the business for Penguin.
So can Chloe Haynes deliver the first goal of the 2024 Grand Final here for Penguin? She sets sail for home. Just pulls it across the face. You can see that wind a real factor here with the goal kicking. They take the lead, but just by a point.
2-1. It's not a soccer scoreline. It is an arm wrestle. Absolute arm wrestle. And the conditions will not help goal kicking. As the kick comes from Whelan from full-back. She sees a target she likes in Smith. Through her fingers. Moody came through. Dropped it off for Smith. Kicks in the direction of Lorenzoni. Am I saying that right?
Lorenzoni, yes.
Yeah. Not my best effort. First crack. It's a ruck contest. It's centre wing. One down by Lee. Moody probably had a piece of Gibbons before she got the footy, so Gibbons gets a free kick. Kicks towards 50. It's a good kick to seek out Emily Saywood. Not sure she took the mark, but she's paid nonetheless. Spins and moves and gets it going inside 50. Finds her sister with a plum. Perfect kick.
A beautiful delivery, and Penguin just been on top for the last 5 minutes or so. They'd love to get a goal to show for it, and you're going to want to take your chances when you get them on a day like this where goals are going to be so hard to come by.
Well, that's just it, isn't it? It's going to be the periods of dominance and those that maximise. That'll be the difference in the game. So Saywood, Shania Saywood, she goes out, get a bit more on the kick, starts right, swings back, and touched on the line. Beautiful work there on the line by Jess Whelan, just to make sure they wouldn't get the goal. And again, those defensive efforts equally are going to be crucial on a day like today.
Yeah, game of inches. That one nearly had the journey from Saywood. She's a thumping kick. She learnt from Haynes' effort, brought it back on the breeze beautifully, but it was just a couple of inches short as this one's cleared out. Purchase on that kick, and when you get something going back the other way now and find a late score, they can't, because they've turned it straight over to Dennis, who's just going to fire the Penguin right back towards their forward 50 arc. Haynes goes back in, but there is the siren for quarter time. A goalless first term, but a gripping one all the same. It has been red hot out there. It's Penguin 3 leading Wynyard 1. It's been a fierce contest, and you get the sense goals will be very hard to come by today, but that doesn't mean we aren't going to have a cracking grand final, Damien.
What an absolute beauty this is in terms of an arm wrestle contest of two quality women's footy teams from the northwest coast. It's got plenty of feeling in it too. These two teams are desperate for the contest, and yeah, a bit of polish inside 50 has probably been lacking on both fronts. I reckon there's some nervous energy out there, that's for sure. But what a contest so far.
Yeah, I think maybe a little bit of composure with that ball inside 50, but you can't blame them too much because the first 10 minutes, anytime anyone got a touch, they were besieged. So that's to be expected. We'll wait and see until both teams have attacked each end. If there may be a slight wind advantage to Penguin, I feel like they're moving a little more distance on their kicks, but certainly tough conditions out there for either side. Wynyard probably had the better of the first several minutes. I thought after that, Penguins started to work their way on top, and they're really well set up behind the ball, I think, was the key to that. They're able to just keep getting those repeat entries. Eventually, if you with the firepower they've got, that will lead to some goals.
You'd think so. I think for both teams, they probably struggled to get in that final 20 metres. So plenty of forward entries that landed between sort of the 50 and 30 metre mark. On a day like today, they need those deep entries to make sure they put the score on the board, because with the conditions the way they are, it's going to be a lot harder. Yeah, what a contest. Terrific. Exactly what we expected, all things considered. Two teams so evenly matched, desperate to win a premiership. And yeah, we're in for a treat. 3 more quarters of this. Thank you very much.
Yeah, there was very little between them in the regular season. There was very little between them week 1 of the finals, and just 2 points separating them at quarter time. We'll have a breather and be back in a few minutes' time with the second term. It's Penguin 3-1 at quarter time in the Northwest Women's Grand Final. The Penguin players making their way back to their respective positions. Wynyard just staying in the huddle a little bit longer, using every second they can just to go over the tactics here. They'll look to change the pattern of the game a little from that last 10 minutes as Penguin work their way on top, but perhaps crucially unable to find a goal in that period, which Wynyard will be quite pleased with. 2-point ball game at quarter time. And I think we can expect much more of the same in quarter number 2, Damien, as the arm wrestle we expect will continue for much of the afternoon.
Yes, I was going to ask you, if you were Keegan Weller at Wynyard, whether you'd swing any changes in particular, structurally or tactically?
I don't think they'll be trying to do too much. Just asking for a little more composure with the ball coming out of defence is probably the key. I think out of the midfield battle, you can understand just biting off territory, but a couple of times just some kicks, they've turned it over a little too easy. I think that'll be the key they look for as we're underway in quarter number 2. Vandenberg winning that one down. Smith has been prolific in the midfield already. Couldn't get a kick away this time, was just buffeted off the ball, and it'll be Penguin to go forward once more. Haynes has been outstanding early on for her side, and she'll send them inside forward 50 once more. High sit-up kick looking for assist. Oh, almost able to ring that one in there. Libby Haynes not quite. Smith diving in on top. Clearing ball from Poke, just goes straight up in the air. Invited in Purton, who fisted it forward. Poke will go again. Swings the handball out in the Smith direction. She'll gather it and then drew some high contact from Haynes. Play on. Good kick round the corner and finds Vandenberg. Big Ruck directing traffic. She drives them down the wing here. This one stay in for Whelan. Just got handball. Bethany Taylor applying the pressure. That could have been kicking in danger, but didn't put off Moody, who just busted away through with strength once more. On top of this one is Lee. The stoppage on the pain of 50.
Yes, Smith, I'd like to see her GPS numbers. She covers so much ground, Olivia Smith, as Vandenberg tries to pick this one up. It's gathered. It'll be the ball up, attacking 50 for the Wynyard Cats. Good tackle applied by Appleby. Ball up again. Lee and Vandenberg. Lee's done well so far this afternoon. A kick out from Purton. She coughs it up as she goes to kick. It's come back to her. She bounds away. Shakes off one. Gets her kick on the boot. Bounces off the chest of Saywood. She drops it off. They keep it moving. Penguin, a bit of chaos ball. Might be gathered here by Wood. Slapping forward. There's a soccer from Amali Johnson. Gathered by Whelan. Inadvertently gave it to Haynes. She plays for a free kick. It's now with her sister. Libby slaps it on the boot. Will it bounce the way she needs? Poke arrives just in the nick of time to send it across for a minor score. So Penguin extend by only a behind.
Interesting one. Wasn't under any pressure there as she helped that one across the line. Perhaps the Empire Tigers just more preventing a goal, getting a hand in the way, but clearing kick out towards the contest. Wrestling in the back there was Nation, as this one's turned over in the middle once again. Just really set up well behind the ball at the moment, Penguin. So they got on top in the quarter number 1. Haynes. Haynes has been really good in the air so far today. Smith with another possession. Humphrey over the top of this one. Umpire calls for it.
Who's fly so well for the ball, Haynes? Both the sisters.
And aerialist, aren't they? Vandenberg wins that one down to Smith. We've seen that combination get to work, but Smith slung off a kick, holding the footy, couldn't escape. A chance for Penguin to go inside the forward 50 here. It'll just be a high sit-up kick and let Haynes slide in again. And she'll go back and kick for goal. A pretty good chance this one.
What a passage that was. The swing around tackle, which was like, just picked her up and dealt with her. And then the most casual of inside 50 kicks you'll ever see. And it's a beauty.
So, Libby Haynes. She get Penguins first of the afternoon here. She can. She drives it through, and they skip out to an 8-point lead. It has been coming. They're 1-3-9, leading Wynyard one behind, and they really did need to get some reward on the scoreboard because they have been getting on top in this contest.
Well, they have. I think that one's been coming for a while. They've been a fair bit better for mine, Penguin, after a good early start from Wynyard. 9-point advantage now probably paints a fair picture, I think. I think we've got it 9 points. Online scoreboard has it at 10, so we'll just get that looked at as it's brought outside the square. He's almost gathered there by Davis, and then she ended up turning to tackler. It'll be a stoppage. So ball up. Vandenberg gets front position, slaps down with two hands. Here's Moody. She's been busy this afternoon. Comes back in ball. Looking for Bissett. Two hands to it, couldn't complete the grab. Swung off behind the play. Saywood is crying for a kick. Humphries now kick inside 50 for Wynyard. A sweeping handball. Eventually comes back to Humphries. She gets the kick away, couldn't quite be swallowed there by Bissett. Penguin negotiate it pretty well, all things considered. They scrap it out.
So they look to go through the corridor once again, taking the game on here. The kick towards Haynes, who just cleverly slapped it on there for Saywood. Went off the deck. Haynes goes back in, keeps it moving forward, and then cleverly again goes off in the direction of Johnson. She's under some pressure here, as the Wynyard defence have been under siege this afternoon. No one wants to take clean possession. Haynes eventually does, and she's brought down immediately by Poke. See, the players were pretty reluctant to grab the ball because they knew the moment they did, someone would be on top of them. So they're just really knocking it on.
Hot footy.
Haynes will do the rucking against Vandenberg, who just uses the larger frame to take front position, box her out, win the hit out. But back into dispute at ground level. Taylor scrapping away with Davis. Now Smith climbing on top with her namesake in the opposition.
Bit of niggle.
Plenty of feeling out there this afternoon. You'd expect nothing else in a grand final. Vandenberg and Lee. Again, it'll be Penguin who get the clearances. Emily Saywood sends them inside forward 50. Johnson with great body work and takes the mark. Strong from Amali Johnson. A sharp angle here. She'll set sail. Try and find their second of the afternoon. And just hangs it near side. So a 10-point lead to the two Blues. 1-5 to one behind. And firmly on top in this grand final at the moment.
They are indeed. Whelan goes long beyond the arc. Will come back straight away. Looking for Saywood. Running over it this time was Whelan. Here's Haynes. Throws on the boot. Straight through. Penguin on fire here at Devonport Oval.
Well, Libby Haynes, a real difference maker inside forward 50 at the moment. She has another one, just picked it up, slapped it on the boot and brought it back on the breeze majestically. He's figured out the win now. That's some wonderful work from Libby Haynes. She has her second, and Penguin have a fairly handy break of 16 points. Wynyard need a response here, or this one's going to drift away from them.
That's it. It's worrying times now for the Cats. Have to find something.
Vandenberg and Smith Perhaps the key to getting them back in it is Smith in the midfield, but Pringle couldn't keep a hold of that one. Went back in and got it. The handball just a bit too sharp for Hoiberg-Cox, though. She'll go back in, gather the football, have an immediate option, released eventually to Smith. Smith has had it on a string, kicks this one forward, but parked back there with Saywood. They get forward inside 50 here, they can. Turning with it was Ellis, but a good tackle, just got boot to ball. Weller, she worked it on there to Moody. Hands and knees, got the handball out. Bissett from the pockets. Couldn't direct her kick and it drifts out on the full.
Would have been a hell of a goal from there from Bissett. But better signs for Wynyard. I liked straight away the response at centre clearance. Vandenberg down to Smith, and then they got the inside 50 they've been craving. But yes, if you're Penguin, I think you nearly contemplate just trying to shut down the game almost and cozy on your lead somewhat. But see how it unfolds. It's Lee from deep in defence for the two Blues. Cut off immediately. Davis gets the handball out. Smith underneath all that. The ball up once more. Smith and Moody, they've been in the thick of things. Probably not getting value for their on-ball dominance in terms of touches. Saywood draws a crowd. The blue elevator doors just closed around her there as another stoppage. Vandenberg, two hands down. Saywood shoved off it. Lee just punching out. Outside of defence now they go. Penguin, Hoiberg-Cox. Oh, look at that. Just bounces off a couple. Unfortunately lost the ball at the inopportune time as she streamed inside 50. Saywood will now kick Penguin out of defence.
Didn't mind taking the game on there, though. At least Hoiberg-Cox as they go inside forward 50 again. Alice ball is into space as Radford flung it backwards, and now they clear the area. They're going to come right back at them, though. Turning with it and sending them inside 50 is Davis. Can she find a marking target? No, again, the ball use just letting Wynyard down at the moment. They've been winning the football all right. It's just been how they've been using it. She's been causing some problems. Revel's kick is a wide one. Haynes there, but a free kick's been spotted. But Davis, I think, taken out there. Now the ball gets up a little bit sore, but she should be right to take a kick.
Smart body work, just a fraction too early.
She's
she looks a bit sore,
feeling the ill effects of that one is Charlie Davis. She'll send them inside once more. Can they find a mark here? Not quite. Off hands it goes again. Going in for it was Ellis. Burrowing in Lee. Just released it as she had to. Crashing in was Moody. Been amongst her sides best. Got that one out to Humphreys. Her kick was shut down. Spills out into the path of Dennis. Arriving to apply some pressure, Lorazoni. Asks a question. Insufficient intent. Umpire says chuck it back into play. Wynyard will spell in attack here. 16 points down. Need to get something here. Something on the scoreboard. Just it away. They should be able to clear the area through Hannah Lee. Didn't get past Smith, though, who sends it back from whence it came. But again, it's probably the one area that's let Olivia Smith down, just her kicking a little bit. She's winning it, but just not quite finding the targets, perhaps.
Knows how to find the footy, but yeah, that little bit of polish, she can add that. Geez, what a player she'd be. And that's probably it. They've just got to keep their heads here, Wynyard. The scoreboard isn't in their favour, but they've got to be composed with ball in hand to get themselves back in it as Penguin look beyond defensive 50. Haynes the target off her hands. That one's borderline thrown out. It's gathered by Smith here. She gets her hands away. Now she gathers once more. She brought down and Saywood tackle. It was a beauty. The ball up. Forward 50 for Wynyard. She's assumed, oh, yeah, that was that good. It had to be rewarded. Give you a free kick. Not to be. Vandenberg now. He's begging for a big fist, that one. It's gathered by Lee, the opposing ruck. Gathering with Smith. Squirts out the handball. Penguin the advantage. Gathered by her Hoiberg-Cox. Repelled by Penguin. Whelan beelines the footy in her way. It's Haynes. The stoppage. 2-5-17 plays one behind as it sits here right now. Smith again, she reads it so well off hands, gets through a couple. Advantage paid. Oh, she dropped it just at the wrong time. Taps it out. Looking out there for Hoiberg-Cox. She was collected. Then came tackler on Haynes. Stoppage again, a 16-point advantage, as we say, for Penguin. Oh, that's a great tackle, really good tackle, duly rewarded. It's Purton who was trying to get away and just brought down. Inside 50, Wynyard go, they need a goal. Kicking towards, it was almost gathered there, not quite for Ellis. Now she's brought down in a tackle. Penguin bring it outside 50. Plenty of space there to operate. It'll be Davis looking to claim the ball. She swings it back inside. Bit of an interesting kick. It lost territory with it. There's Bryan now. He should get a free kick for her troubles. Really interesting kick. That one, Andrew Cooling.
Yeah, not the one she was after, I don't think, as Bryan spots the target and finds Charlie Davis. A good little spell here, Wynyard, as they look to work their way back into the game. High ball inside forward 50, spoiled away by Schultz. Pringle was there, just kind of thrown out the back there by Humphreys. And to continue. Hit off the deck. Hoiberg-Cox had the handball to Bryan, couldn't take it cleanly. Whelan knew she had to get rid of it quickly. And unfortunately, that saw her just turning it over. Shania Brown, who just calls for calm, says steady it down. Kick towards the contest. Good Shepherd laid, but now Johnson to get in there. Solid bump from Johnson, all fair. It was a good firm hit there. It's a physical battle, this one. Lee has done some good work at ground level. Here's the ruck. Just forced out the back of the contest. Anyone take clean possession. Trying to burrow away through once again was Moody. It took three to stop her. She's been absolute bull over the football today. And unsurprisingly, after that stoppage here as a sore player, the bodies are flying in at the moment, Gilly.
Shania Saywood just came in very, very heavy. Was trying to collect the footy at the time and collected a piece of her opponent. It looks to have, as Finlay Bryan has looked to regather herself, which is good to see. Saywood just there, claimed in a tackle coming from Sophie Johnson. Tell you what, these umpires are getting good at throwing up the footy. It goes up again, Vandenberg, 2 hands down, Saywood, deflected ball. Doesn't go far at all. Whelan comes through, tries to make it her ball. Does well, gets it to Smith. Smith inside 50 now, but it's all blue, but the wrong blue. It's too blue. It's Ravel who swallows the footy, looks for Saywood in a pack. Somehow Penguin come out of that. Done pretty well as Olivia Smith again has eyes only for the footy. Hunts it, but Haynes wins out. Penguin now looking to get a late goal in this quarter after doing their work early. There's good pressure again applied. This time by Eliza Dennis. You see the radar is likely to see a bit of weather. It's kicked away by Gibbons. Bouncing ball. There to be one for either side. It's Sophie Johnson who jumps on top, and she's put down in a tackle. So not long at all to go in this quarter. In fact, we are nearly done. It's again a good tackle, really good tackle applied on Saywood, who's been one of the better players on the ground for mine. And there is the siren. Half time at Devonport Oval. Penguin on top, 2-5-17. They lead the Wynyard Cats, the solitary behind. And Wynyard going to the sheds with some work to do, Andrew Cooling.
Yeah, 16 points in arrears, and you've got to give credit to Penguin, I think, for their work in the 14 defensive 50 arcs. I reckon between them, Wynyard have probably been the better side on the contested side of things. Probably had it locked in that forward 50 for nearly the last 10 minutes of that second quarter. Penguins defence, though, rock solid, could not find a way through after they'd done the damage early in the quarter. A pair of goals to Haynes, setting them up, giving them a handy lead. And when they had the opportunity, they kept winning it, kept getting it back in there, just couldn't find a mark, couldn't get a clear air anytime the ball went in there. Penguin were well situated, but they took their chances early in the quarter. That's a fairly handy break, especially with, looking at the radar, potentially some heavy weather to come in the second half.
Yeah, and the big thing is inside 50, they had two really good targets who happened to have the same last name in the Haynes twins, who were just terrific inside 50, and that is one of the major differences between the teams. Wynyard has gone inside 50 a lot and probably lacking for that forward to just take it by the scruff of the neck, and some of the entries probably lacking as well. So a lot of improvement still in Wynyard is probably the upside for the Cats, but Penguin, they did so much right in that quarter, particularly early, and they've set up the game for themselves from here.
Yeah, all still to play for in the second half of the grand final. But it's Penguin, 2-5-17, leading Wynyard, one behind at the main change. We'll be back in around about a quarter of an hour's time with the third term for you.
it's right. But when the homies call, he's out the door saying it's gonna be lit tonight. And now you're stressing, sending out texts without the X like it's a fight. Cause you always thought good, but it turns out left and you thought it was Mr. Right. Nope, you ain't never gonna let up. Cause he a let down, girl, get you fed up. Never let him get you down, girl, I said get up. Put on them shoes that make your body hella. Let him see that it won't never get better than you. Never could weather the storm that you brew. Baby, you know what I'm saying is true. Men will remember that boy is a fool. The things that you said don't mean a thing, that's why she don't leave. Get that in your head, she don't need Gucci, she easy to please. The things that you said don't mean a thing, and I think maybe you should just leave.
You said that you would treat me right, boy. Say you would be right by my side, boy. But tell me where were you tonight? You've been messing around with a different crowd and you don't wanna be found. You said that you would treat me right, boy. Say you would be right by my side, boy. But tell me where were you tonight? You've been messing around with a different crowd and you don't wanna be found.
She don't want no drama, but she ain't the type to let it go. If you don't really want her, then man, you should let her know. Now she ain't playing around, get that in your head. Thinking about you, thinking about all of the things that you said. Thinking about all of that, all of that, all of that.
I don't want no drama, but I'm not the type to let it go. I don't really want this, no, I'm not part of your show. I'm not playing around, get that in your head, things that you said, and I think maybe you should just leave. You know you didn't treat me right, boy. I know you're never by my side, boy. But I don't care about you tonight. You can mess around with a different crowd, cause it's over now. You said that you would treat me right, boy. Say you would be right by my side, boy. But tell me where are you tonight? You've been messing around with a different crowd and you don't wanna be found.
Back for the second half here in the NWFL Grand Final. It is Penguin leading by 16 points after two tight quarters of football. Haynes getting the job done inside forward 50, but Wynyard probably just enough in the last 10 minutes of that second quarter to think that if they can just tidy things up going inside 50, they're every chance of staging a fight back, Damien.
Yeah, certainly. More encouraging late. Just needs something or someone to light the fuse inside 50 for Wynyard. A bit like the Haynes Twins did for Wynyard at the for Penguin rather at the start of the last quarter. They need someone like that. Whether it's a Moody who's been really effective around the ball inside 50, or whether Ellis can pick up, or whether Bissett can find some separation.
Yeah, she's kicked plenty this year. They need some goals here in the second half, or it's going to be Penguin hoisting the premiership flag as Smith laying a tackle there. She's been so prolific in midfield. The star on baller. Starts in the middle, but it's going to go back the other way through Emily Saywood, who's been very good herself. Off the hands of Haynes. Oh, great tackle laid from Libby Haynes from behind. Pounced on her prey and wins the free kick. The tackling was a real standout in that first half, and it continues here. Libby Haynes, perhaps too far out to score with the heavy football. We'll see.
That was a beauty, wasn't it?
Let's see it coming. She's going to have to just set it up, I think. Does so. Defended away there by Smith, dropping behind the ball. Continues to dominate possessions, but coughs this one straight up to Saywood, who slams it on the boot. Won't quite have the journey, though. That one's intercepted deep by the experienced Whelan. Perhaps wisely opting to just touch it down rather than take the bounce on an afternoon like this.
Great mark.
That's a fine pair of hands shown. Can they get something moving here now? The ball's been all right. It's been the ball use that let them down in the first half. Back into the corridor, looking for Moody, who's been consistent threat. Gibbons got a kick away, diving on top of it, Revel. Bustling away through once again was Moody. Now Appleby laying a tackle. Kick spills out. Just towed off the deck into space here. And Haynes lurking and winning the football back for Penguin and driving them inside 50 once more. Haynes out the back. Oh, almost a mark there. Haynes will go in. She'll turn onto the right. Snaps towards goal. How will it bounce? The wrong side of the post. Almost another one for Haynes. 17 points the margin.
Just like the last quarter, the Haynes Twins are on fire as we inadvertently add a goal to the scoreboard. That'll be corrected in a minute. Don't worry, Wynyard fans, as it comes out off the boot of Whelan around the arc. It's gathered by Saywood. She pounces on the ball, kicks deep inside forward 50. It's cut off. Johnson now squirts out the handball. Haynes almost. Johnson again on hands and knees. Gets it off to Shania Saywood. On her boot, swinging. Not far enough. Another behind.
Geez, she got some purchase on that kick.
We're 2-7. 2-7-19. One behind. Danger signs here for the Wynyard Cats.
They need a lift. They need a goal. First, they need to clear defensive 50, though, as a free kick blown. It's going to go the way of Jyoti Revel, who can swing them inside once again. Pump it back in, piling the pressure on at the moment, Penguin. And it's another mark for Haynes.
Bit too easy, that.
Far too easy indeed. And Chloe Haynes can extend the lead to 24 points. They've come firing out of the blocks in this third term. Chance for another goal here. That margin beginning to become rather problematic for Wynyard. Haven't managed to go yet. They're going to need at least 4 if she kicks this one. Haynes, it's working. Back, does it have the journey? Not quite. Johnson on the line. Fired a handball back. Haynes will bury this one. She usually does. They get there in the end. And it's Penguin 3-7-25 with a 24-point break in the grand final. They're piling it on at the moment.
Yeah, I feel a bit sorry. Was it who was it on the line that at the last line did the job, but just probably had to kill the footy rather than bring it back in? It might have been a different story. It might have been Jess Whelan maybe on the last line. I think it was. Kept it alive. Johnson did really well just to spill it out, and then as soon as it got to Haynes, as you rightly called, it was as good as a goal. So back in the middle. Now Wynyard have a lot to do. Smith in her hands. Kicks towards the arc. They've swung Vandenberg forward. That's an interesting move. Yeah, Hoiberg-Cox. Sweeping handball back to Smith. She's claiming a good tackle. Not rewarded from the umpire. Umpiring's been pretty good. They've let a bit go, which on a day like today probably helpful for the game as Lee taps down. Gibbons smacked away from her by Hoiberg-Cox, and that one is socket over by Saywood. Smith thinks it should be her ball. The umpire doesn't agree. So Lee up against Charlie Davis, who looks like she's having a stint in the ruck, as it's Saywood who bounds away with the ball, finds Shania Saywood picking up, little handball. It was a block ball from Matthews. Soccering was Bissett. They need her in the game. Maybe they could swing her somewhere. Saywood, just a panic kick towards 50. It's Wood eyeing it off, bustled into. It'll be a stoppage. In between the centre square and the forward arc for the Penguin 2 Blues, as it's Lee down. Tapping to the advantage of a Penguin player there in Purton. It was gathered by the navy blue rather than the... I'm not sure what the second shade of blue, but it's a lighter blue. It's Lee now in better position. Bustling through there was Whelan and Haynes, and poke on top of her. It'll be another stoppage.
It's tossed up. Penguin piling on the pressure. Saywood bounds away from the contest, straightens up and sends it for home. Just the wrong side of the post again.
Well, the only good news I'll say for Wynyard, it could be uglier, this. Penguin have left a few out there, but the issue is there's a bit of weather on the way. Ominous in terms of weather, but also ominous on the scoreboard right now. Whelan trying to search for some answers from fullback.
Yeah, they're starting to really win the midfield battle this quarter too. Really dominating this grand final. That's a strong mark. It's going to come right back in at them here. Nicely done there by Jess Smith, who just sets it high up inside forward 50 to Johnson. Couldn't quite juggle the mark. Smith doing some defending there, diving in on top. Might have got some high contact. That's how the umpire sees it. Free kick to Olivia Smith. Wastes no time. Sends it on the boot outside the 50. Over the head of Moody, though. Trickling towards the line. Just reaching it. They've got to find a spark here. Wynyard, they've got to get going. They need a goal soon. 25 points. It'll be hard to see them getting back into this one if they can't get one soon. I think we can get the next one. That might just about be curtains. Lee, been really impressed with her in the ruck despite being outside. Done some great work today. As Lee, high ball up towards the wing. Charging that one down was Schultz.
So Wynyard with it all to do, really, from here. 25-point advantage, Penguin on top of the game and the scoreboard. Has hit out down. The umpire's taken a tumble. Hope he's okay. He's clutched his leg straight away here.
Do we have time off for umpire injuries?
I'd hope so, if a stretcher's coming. Not sure what he's done here. Not good. Old Bumble, who's the Penguin trainer, also a trainer for the state team, he'll have him sorted.
Hope he's all right.
Yeah, no, you don't like seeing that, but he did clutch his leg straight away. He looks fine now, doesn't he? The crowd are happy about it.
Your fans might not be happy with the minute they just got eaten off the clock, to be honest. They need every second they've got at the moment.
And Bumble's in a hurry to get off the field just quietly. So up it goes again. Johnson competing with Davis. Davis did pretty well. It's interesting the move Wynyard have made to put Vandenberg forward. I'm not sure about it because I feel like they need her advantage at clearance now more than ever.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. I know that they were struggling for marking targets there, but the one thing that they were getting right was probably the clearance game, and now that's kind of dissipated too. Suddenly their defence has just been under siege all quarter. Burrowing in there and trying to extract the football. Unable to do so. Smith has been in the trenches this afternoon. Johnson to do some ruck work now. And that one shut down as Humphries tried to force it forward, just flung out, but having a fumble as Hoiberg-Cox went back in, scooped a handball back into dispute, tapped back ahead there. Now charging back the other way, Purton. With plenty of dash off half-back. She'll receive again and just slam it on the boot up towards Saywood. Might have got a little chop with the arms there. She does.
Not sure what's going on here.
Not sure what I thought it was going to be.
They might be off for weather here.
Yeah, it must be. There's been some lightning in the area, and that appears to be the cause of a stoppage here. So the grand final will come to a temporary halt. Wynyard will probably need that to just regroup, reassess, and maybe come up with another plan of attack, because right now Penguin are firmly en route to a premiership, 25 points up midway through the third quarter. A lightning break here. I'm not sure if that stoppage is going to be enough to stop Penguin. They are looking every bit the premiers right now, Damien.
Yeah, we'll just get confirmation. Yeah, it is a lightning break, so we'll wait and see what that means in terms of resumption. But Penguin well on top. And we're just left to wait and see what happens with the weather, more or less. It's funny, we saw this in the AFL on Friday night. It's a strange old thing. Doesn't happen often in Australian rules footy, but it's very disruptive when it does. There's still a lot of game left in this.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how the players adapt, how they respond to the stoppage. Probably the shorter quarters helps them a little in that regard, but yeah, it's an interesting one, and maybe it'll be the circuit breaker that Wynyard need, because they need to change this game up. At the moment, it's just drifting away from them. So they'll need to come up with a plan of attack in this stoppage. Maybe they can use it to their benefit, but yeah, it's always going to be an interesting one. See how the bodies respond more than anything. Not ideal, but who knows how long they'll be off for.
Well, that's it. We'll do our best to stay on top of where things are at and get clarity. But if you are joining us on the live stream today, firstly, thanks for your company. But you have to hang with us here. It's out of everyone's control, this sort of thing. What is in the control of Penguin is this game right here, right now. Just saw a flash of lightning there on the screen.
That would be why they're off.
That would be why they're off. And we might just take a bit of a breather now, Andrew Cooling, and wait for clarity for this contest. We can leave you with the sights of the backdrop. 20-odd minutes, I'd think, before we see more action here at Devonport Oval. As we leave you, Penguin are in control. 2-7-25 they are. And it is one behind Wynyard. 24-point advantage is what it has on here. It's 25 on our live stream. We'll get that clarified as well.
I reckon our live stream was right initially, and the official score was wrong, and they've now corrected it. Now correction's now made the stream wrong, Gilly. I reckon that's what's happened there.
We'll get clarity. We've got plenty of time to do it. Hang with us here, Devonport Oval, as we say. A significant advantage for Penguin. We're off for lightning, would you believe? See you soon.
I'm not changing.
it's gonna be lit tonight. And now you're stressing, sending out texts without the X like it's a fight. Cause you always start good, but it turns out left and you thought it was Mr. Right. Nope, you're never gonna let up. Cause you're let down, girl, got you fed up. Never let him get you down, girl, I said get up. Put on them shoes that make your body hella. Let him see that it won't never get better than you. Never could weather the storm that you brew. Baby, you know what I'm saying is true. Men will remember that boy is a fool. The things that you said don't mean a thing, that's why she don't need. Get that in your head, she don't need Gucci, she easy to please. The things that you said don't mean a thing, and I think maybe you should just leave.
You said that you would treat me right, boy. Say you would be right by my side, boy. But tell me where were you tonight? You've been messing around with a different crowd, and you don't wanna be found. You said that you would treat me right, boy. Say you would be right by my side, boy. But tell me where were you tonight? You've been messing around with a different crowd, and you don't wanna be found.
She don't want no drama, but she ain't the type to let it go. If you don't really want her, then man, you should let her know. Now she ain't playing around, get that in your head. Thinking about you, thinking about all of the things that you said. Thinking about all of that, all of that, all of that.
I don't want no drama, but I'm not the type to let it go. I don't really want this, no, I'm not part of your show. I'm not playing around, get that in your head, things that you said, and I think maybe you should just leave. You know you didn't treat me right, boy. I know you're never by my side, boy. But I don't care about you tonight. You can mess around with a different crowd, cause it's over now. You said that you would treat me right, boy. Say you would be right by my side, boy. But tell me where were you tonight? You've been messing around with a different crowd, and you don't wanna be found.
So a free kick here at half forward for Wynyard as they look to get themselves back into this grand final. Smith drives them inside the forward 50 arc. Almost a mark there for Ellis. Couldn't quite complete it. Moody tumbles it forward. It's a slippery ball now in the heavy rain. Trying to fight through his Bissett. Shrugs one. Can't shrug two. She's caught holding the footy. Radford saves the day for Penguin.
We apologise to viewers. We're a bit late getting back into the action. We've missed a goal from Amy Bissett, so the score is 1-2-8, 3-7, 25 as the ball's back inside 50. It is a cake of soap at the moment. It's down from Dennis, climbing on top there. So Wynyard with some momentum as we'll get that scoreboard sorted out. It is 1-2-8, plays 3-7, 25. Come out the back. Easy one out the back for Moody. Helps herself. And Wynyard are on the charge.
Look at them. They are fired up all of a sudden. And the break, well, we said beforehand, funny things can happen coming out of lengthy stoppages. That is what has happened here. Wynyard hadn't looked like kicking a goal beforehand. Was 25 points down. Really on the precipice of the game, slipping away from them. Suddenly, they are right back in this.
3-7.
It's 2-2 to 3-7, 11 points the difference, and they are back within striking distance. This game has been turned on its head. Vandenberg toes it forward. She's moved back into the middle, and suddenly the confidence flowing. They go forward once again. Radford just off the deck. Smith turns away with it, flicked it back inside. Penguin able to win the ball forwards though. Put out into space for Saywood. Johnson arriving, but Saywood too strong. Sends Penguin inside forward 50. Drifts over the head there of Rose Bramich. Leads back towards the football. Taken out by her own teammate there, though. The slippery conditions causing havoc. The umpire called a stoppage just before Haynes could swoop on that one and try and kick a fourth.
Pressure rising in this contest. So we're deep in the third term. It's trickled out as Olivia Smith stalked her 500th touch or somewhere in that realm. She's be a player you'd love to play with, I think, Olivia Smith. Hard at the footy, just keeps on toiling. It's a contest again. This one's punched away by Johnson. It goes to Haynes. Sends a kick inside the middle. Streamed through with Hoiberg-Cox. It's Smith this time. Puts some air on the kick. It's to the advantage of Davis. She'll win a free kick. A bit of a tug of the shirt from Bethany Taylor. So 14 plays 25. A real arm wrestle. It's kicked in by Purton. Looking towards Haynes. Cut off nicely. Long sleeve, a good option on a day like today. The weather has not been kind. Slippery ball, Pack on the wing. Trickles out the back. It's Purton again. Can't quite gather. It's a hard ball to gather. Socket off the ground by Davis. Worked off it by Lee. Lee bouncing through. It was well gathered by Hoiberg-Cox. Just bounced up, just popped into perfection for Radford. Her kick to Haynes, and she's shoved by Poke, and it'll be a Haynes kick. Haynes now. Long and strong. Looking to the advantage of Moore. It's moved away from her. Now it's Wynyard with a footy. Got herself into all sorts of mischief with Sophie Johnson. And I think she's lucky to get away with it.
Oh, she's tried the fend off. I'm not sure how that wasn't prior opportunity. Very lucky indeed there, Sophie Johnson. Penguin pushing for a response. That's a crunching tackle from Poke. And that one has been paid. I mean, it was a brilliant tackle, but there was zero prior there. So a little fortunate there, perhaps, when maybe things just starting to swing their way here in the grand final there. right back in the mix all of a sudden. Here's Mia Lee, slaps it on the boot, doesn't get too much purchase. Couple of spoils landed in the lap of Davis. Her handball unable to be picked up. Lee scooped a handball out. Tumbling kick around the corner. Bites off some territory. In the back there was Hardy. The ball in play. Lee dispossessed, and now it's Ellis. Got checked there by Bissett, or by Revel afterwards. Spills out the back for Bissett. She gathers. He'll run into an open goal, and suddenly they're back within 5 points. They've flicked the switch, the Cats. They've come flying out of this lightning break. Not known for loving rain are Cats, but the Wynyard Cats, they're thriving in it.
They're purring, are these Cats. They've come out of this lightning break, and courtesy of a storm, they have stormed back into this game. 3-2 plays 3-7, and it's all the way of Wynyard. Looks like
Siren right on the siren.
that might have been the siren.
What a way to end the term. I suppose we need confirmation the goal was kicked.
Three-quarter time it is. 3-2 plays 3-7. Bissett with a hell of a quarter, basically unsided prior to that term. Out of the lightning break, 2 goals. Unfortunately, we couldn't bring you the first one. We're a bit late to the resumption. But what a game we have here now, Andrew Cooling. It looked dead and buried, I'll be honest.
For that lightning break, they had kicked 1 behind total in the match. They have come out of it, and in the space of, 7 minutes to play, they've kicked 3 goals, 1. It has absolutely swung wildly. Oh, just a freak of nature event, really. A lightning storm. It caused a very lengthy delay, about half an hour or so. And Wynyard have just come flying out. Penguin have stayed in the break, it would seem. They just suddenly find themselves in an absolute tight affair once again in a game they have one hand on the Premiership Cup.
It was in their keeping, and now Coach Clint Schultz has some thinking to do because they don't have a lead to sit on. Less than a goal the margin. And I think with the conditions worsening and speed on the ball and that midfield dominance finally paid some dividends for Wynyard, and they're able to just quickly stack it on the board. And wow.
Probably the other area it helps is Penguin have been better in the air. They've been better marking the ball today. Suddenly that's going to be really tough for anyone.
It's a really good point you raised. Like their better players have probably been, Shania Saywood and the Hayneses, and they're nullified somewhat by the conditions. So the ground level players, it brings them to the fore, and that's probably why Amy Bissett has bobbed up. You got to wonder that last goal, how she had so much space. She was on her own. She's the most dangerous small forward in the competition. I'm not sure how she's been let to just wander into goal unimpeded.
Just maybe the fast ball movement, just catching them out a bit. A couple caught up the ground, not quite working back hard enough. And suddenly it just sprung out the back for her. She was able to waltz in there, cut the margin to 5 points. Did not see this coming. Wynyard, well, they've been tightly matched all year. It felt heading into the game that it was going to be a close battle. It was just 4 points when they met 2 weeks ago. For 2.5 quarters, it was Penguin, though, with a pretty handy lead, looking like they were just going to storm away with this one. Now we've got the grand final. I think we all expected.
That's it. And it's come courtesy of a lightning break.
Extraordinary.
It's funny what those big stoppages can do to the psyche of a team. We've seen it at different stages at AFL level as well. It's one team that it's generally the team that has the lead is in a bit of an awkward spot, really, because you've got so much time to sit and think. Whereas the other team, you've got a lot of time to sit and think and fix things. And also, you come out of that and go, well, what have we got to lose? We're fresh, we're ready to go, and let's just throw everything at it. In this case, that's worked for Wynyard. They're right back in this game.
Yeah, and whilst that the lightning stoppage didn't come at a good time for Penguin, three-quarter time probably has, because they need just to stop, go, okay, for the majority of this match, we've been the better team. Can we get back to what we were doing for 2.5 quarters? They needed that one just to regroup a bit, but it's Wynyard. Look at the spring in their step as they come out from the huddle. They're fired up and 5 points back in this one. But you'd almost say with the momentum they've got, they'd maybe be favourites from this point despite being 5 points down.
You'd think so. You'd think so, but Penguin just need to go back to what's served them well all day, really. If they can supply their forwards, they'll put probably a score on the board which Wynyard will find hard to chase down as we're in the middle. It's off the hands of Vandenberg, and guess who? Well, it wasn't Smith on this occasion. I thought it was, but it was actually Whelan who's in the middle. So Vandenberg down there is Smith. She almost wins the footy. Turns tackler. Same before Andrew Cooling. She'd have to be a great teammate to have Olivia Smith.
So tough in and under, winning those hard balls all day long, and just does not stop running. Leads by example. Big early clearance battle here. Lee tackled by Vandenberg. Haynes tumbles a kick, but straight to her opposite number, and Hoiberg Coxer just launches Wynyard forward. Tracking this one there was Humphreys. Turns onto her right, sets it up inside the forward 50. Bissett lurking, but getting first to it was Ellis. Fired a handball out into space, trying to find Bissett. Lee just went off the deck, tumbled it into some space. Follows up, battling away Ellis. They scrap at ground level. Ellis dispossesses with the tackle, cleverly just kicked out into some space. There's a couple of jumpers back here for Penguin though. And they're able to clear the area, not too convincingly albeit. Might fall for Bryan, not quite. They work it forward via Haynes into the middle. Broken up by Johnson. Sophie Johnson was then taken down without the football. Play on the goal. Swung out into space. Saywood first to it. She gathers. She's a probing kick. She launches this one forward. And it's going to go out of play though. And that'll be last touch. And Wynyard's ball with it.
I would have thought so.
Yeah. Seemed pretty clear that one. So Wynyard to take over off the half-back line.
So they'll launch forward. I'm not sure.
Played on out of play.
Is it either play on out of play or a free kick for... Not sure what that was.
Well,
anyway, it's either out of bounds and it's a throw up, or they've come off the mark, haven't they? Bizarre. Anyway, out it goes. Saywood, kick inside forward 50. Tumbling ball is gathered by Poke. She sends it down the wing. Just touch, an inadvertent touch really from Taylor, because they would have had the ball on their own had she let it trickle out. And I think she knew it as soon as she did it, to be honest. It's Lee and Vandenberg, as they have all day. Lee's done a pretty good job, I'm going to be honest, as it's still there. Up for grabs the footy, gathered by Haynes. Swinging the kick back towards the arc. Looking for her sister. Poke leads the foot race. Gets the handball out. Coming across there was Nation. But it's all navy blue. They get the kick away. Hard ball for Humphreys to win. And she does well to wrap up Radford. Looks a bit spongy there in the middle. Andrew Cooling.
It is a heavy deck now. The rain has been pouring down for the last 45 minutes or so. Wonderful tackle, Ella Moody, and rewarded.
She's been awesome.
She has, so strong. Just such a physical presence in that midfield. Been dominating the contested game today. Her tackling's been first rate, as has her ball winning. That's took a surprising bounce given the conditions. Bissett now just bites off some territory, sends it forward looking for Ellis. She gathers but was immediately tackled off it by Lee, and holding the ball is the decision. A saving tackle there from Mia Lee, and she wastes no time. Heads towards the wing. Emily Saywood been one of her side's best. Couldn't gather that one though. Gathering it instead is Sophie Johnson, who launches it in the Bissett direction. Almost a mark, not quite. Revel now gets the hands free and gets a clearing kick out in the direction of Smith for Wynyard though. Lays another firm tackle, and this time the umpire will call for it. It's going to be a real territory game in this last quarter, you fancy. It'll be so hard to transition the football now. Vandenberg and Lee. Vandenberg spiked it forward. Just going off the deck was Whelan. Been moving on to the ballers. Should be another kicking in danger there.
Geez, you don't see that much anymore.
Very rarely paid. And a free kick will go the way of the two Blues.
When the conditions like this, it becomes a simple game. It's just get it forward. Anyway, anyhow, as Haynes is worried off the ball here. Kick inside. It's almost for Hoiberg-Cox. Lee off the deck. Vandenberg goes and gathers. Tries to get by one. That's holding the footy, I would have thought. Unrewarded were Penguin. Haynes, good tackle. And their opposite number in Hoiberg-Cox. Thrown up. Lee. Hannah Lee. I've liked her application to the task today as Nation leads the foot race. Shoved off it by Brian. It's with Wynyard now through Moody. Just streams through. Swings it off that right boot. Bissett on the pain of 50. Keen to get it moving. A heavy ball. Oh, looked perfectly there for Hardy. Not quite gathered. Sock it away. Foot race on now as they hit the defensive 50. This one's trickling towards the line. It's gathered in the end by Dennis. She's trying to convince the umpire that she was trying to get rid of her. I'm not sure the intent was overly there, but she's done enough. And in the end, pretty good effort from her because it was up for grabs in defence. Vandenberg down now. Haynes coming through. Smith the other way. Good tackle from Libby Haynes. King inside forward 50 now for Wynyard. It's gathered by Bissett. Just squirts out a handball. Handball on further. Here is Humphreys on the boot. Just offline. They cut the margin to 4 points here in the final term of the NWFL Women's Grand Final.
Gee, Amy Bissett has absolutely come to life since this lightning break. She is looking the dominant player on the ground all of a sudden. 52 goals this season. And she is starting to have a profound influence. Wynyard pushing hard here. 4 points down. Sliding in there was Ellis. She's immediately wrapped up. They fight a draw. A stoppage just inside the paint. It's a tough battle in this grand final. Vandenberg and Lee lock up once more. Flicked out the back by Hoiberg-Cox. Smith trying to escape the tackle. Just slipped up high. Free kicked away of Olivia Smith. She can drive it in deep here. Wheels off to her right. Sets it up out the back. It's a good mark from Revel.
It was a poor kick, to be honest.
Wasn't to her forward's advantage, was it? Jyoti Revel takes the relieving mark. She takes her time. Oh, didn't catch the kick right. It's invited all sorts of danger here. Bissett was on there. They'll lock in for another stoppage. That was a kick laced with risk. The Rucks nominate Humphreys, Revel. Well, no one nominated, I think, in the end for Wynyard. Revel went unopposed. It's not getting out of there as Radford took possession. Taking her was Ellis. 21s will meet. Lee won it down straight to the opposition though, and Moody, who's wrapped up in a strong tackle from Schultz.
Hasn't the tackling been good today?
It has been ferocious all afternoon. And Moody has taken some serious stopping today. That was a great tackle from Schultz. It's often taken two to stop her. They go again. Again Moody on it, and again Schultz is the one to bring it out. Rinse and repeat.
The right end of the ground, if you barrack for the Navy of the Wynyard Cats. The 21s lock horns once more. Moody tries to bustle through. She's caught high. Wow. A free kick in a dangerous position for Ella Moody. She's been terrific this afternoon. Only 16 years of age. Cuts such an imposing figure on the field. She's so strong at the contest and wins so much of her own footy. Bright future ahead of her. So Ella Moody comes on in. Kicks goalward. Tell you what, gave it a decent look. Minor score. 3 points the margin at Devonport Oval. The ball has been locked into Wynyard's half, and they just chisel away at that margin, Andrew Cooling.
Well, there were no goals in quarter number one. It might be similar here in the final term. One goal could well be enough. It is very tough, but when you're doing all the attacking right now, Smith just goes off the ground, put it into space, showing some wheels, Gibbons, but Smith is relentless with her work rate. Just willed herself to the football and forces another stoppage. The umpire will toss it up. They are turning the screws right now. Appleby, hack kick out. Off hands, Bissett once again hustling, just kicks into space for herself. Can she get the follow-up? Goes off the deck, Bissett tumbles into the square. Oh, sticking a boot out hard. He couldn't quite steer it towards the goals. Haynes will go in. It's locked up. And I thought Isabella Hardy was just going to sucker that one through.
It was there for her. Had a good look at it, didn't she?
They're knocking on the door, the Cats. Vandenberg won it down. Straight, though, to Radford. She was dispossessed. Paddled towards Smith. She's brought down. Is it in the back? It is. And a free kick to the star, Olivia Smith.
A look there, Drewy.
Yeah, have to agree with the umpire on that one. It's gettable, but in these conditions, it will take a great kick from Smith. She wheels off. The angle was charged down. Off hands towards the pocket. Bissett tracking it but can't get there first. Good awareness from the Penguin defender there that Smith was going to wheel around and just take that space away from her.
It's justifiably a tied kick from someone that her work ethic's amazing, Olivia Smith. Hell of a player as Penguin look to get this one out of defensive 50. Saywood almost. Gathered there by Gibbons. She swung without it. Should be a free kick for Penguin. It's Haynes. Geez, good mark. Really good mark from the experienced Whelan. Cramp inside 50. It's that sort of afternoon. Whelan wheels and goes. Long, deep kick. Ravel. She named it off very, very early. Said, that's my ball. And no one got near her. She takes a great defensive grab. Outside from Johnson. Gets it on the boot. Cut off well by Rose Bramich. So Rose Bramich now can chip over the top. As Pope just standing inside 50. She's caught in a Johnson tackle. Really good tackle. Haynes almost. Fresh airy coming through with Saywood. Haynes worked off it. They're just nothing pretty. You get it moving through Pate. Sorry, Matthews it was. Brian eyeing this one off. Hands it out. They're under the button. The Wynyard team, they get it moving. Haynes almost. Whelan comes in. It's Johnson who just locks it up. It's a cake of soap. It is a heavy football. They don't need to be pretty, Andrew Cooley.
They don't. The defence getting a breather for the first time all quarter here, Penguin, just at the moment, but they might have some more defending to do in a second. Moody's on top of this one. It'll be locked in and balled up once again. I don't think they've gone forward of centre in this 13 minutes. They have been under siege. They're holding on. Moody still down. Back to her. She's going to try and compete from ground level. Still gets it.
That's incredible.
Literally lying on the deck with cramp, and the ball just landed into her arms. And the opposition helping out with the cramp there. They maybe thought better of it. Vandenberg swipes it forward. Bissett takes possession. She's wrapped up immediately. Got a handball away. Haynes' kick was smothered. And they'll lock it in again.
See the passion of the Penguin fans just behind us there. It's great to see.
Lee and Vandenberg, neither can get there. Saywood just going off the deck. Haynes out towards this one. They slide in after it. It's a tough football to be won. And a free kick. That will relieve some pressure. Penguin can bite off some seconds here and perhaps crucially get some territory as well.
Desperate stuff here at Devonport Oval. Purton doesn't get the purchase on her kick. It won't matter. Gibbons now kicks inside the centre square. It's cut off. It's coming back through Davis. Kicking towards 50. Through the fingers of Bissett. Smith works it inside forward 50. A bouncing, tumbling ball. It's gathered. almost for Wynyard. They lock it up. It's where they need it to be. They trail this one by 3 points. Not long left in the contest. Trickles out. Socket along. He's not pretty stuff. Pringle wrapping up in a tackle. (22) plays 25. Balled up. Through the fingers. Wheeling almost. It's Moody now. It's cut off. Good hands out by Schultz. Tumbling ball. Almost there for Wynyard. It's gathered by Poke. Squirts out a handball. Well done, Penguin. Now they just kick to space. It's a foot race, and it's a Penguin player that's leading it. Coming out in front was Eliza Dennis. She gets the footy, slaps it on the boot, and misses. It would have nearly drawn curtains on the game.
I think it would have, Gilly. I think 2 goals would be insurmountable with just 2.5 to play. It'll allow them to kill plenty of time, though. It's going to be tough to transition the ball the length. Will this one stay in for Johnson? It did, but now she's under pressure. And they can bite off a few more seconds here. Will at least allow them to kill time. Will they be able to even get it forward, Wynyard? It's been locked at the other end all throughout this term. The Penguin defence is hold firm. Vandenberg with the double-handed slap. Saywood, they're happy to just try and keep it locked in here. They won't want the ball getting to the outside. Scoop backwards there for Gibbons. Gibbons gave it across to Saywood. Turns it round the corner and finds a mark. And they will be able to run some clock here through Emily Saywood. She should be in no rush whatsoever here.
Somewhat fitting. She's been certainly in the best couple on the ground. Emily Saywood.
She'll kick from about 35 to 40. She sets it high, won't have the journey. It's spoiled away. Moore under pressure there from Poke. Haynes to Haynes. Almost in the back there. They avoid giving it away. Haynes again. Immediately besieged. Clearing kick. Doesn't clear the area. High up and under. Bounces into space. But they're killing clock here, Penguin. Flung back inside despairingly. Great tackle laid by Smith. Haynes picks it up. She shrugs free. Couldn't get boot to
What a
ball.
tackle.
Whelan saves the day.
Yep.
But there's no more time because the siren has sounded. And they've done it, Penguin. A backs to the walls operation in the last quarter. They held firm under immense pressure. And they claimed the premiership. In an absolute slog. It was a battle. Wynyard stormed back into the game after the lightning delay. But Penguin had built enough of a lead early. And they win by 4 points in a classic.
What a beauty of a contest. One of those games where neither team really deserved to lose. Just the effort and endeavour of both teams on show. Unbelievable contest. I think it was 5 points to margin in the end. We might have missed a behind on the scoreboard. 22 plays 27, and incredible from Penguin, particularly in that last quarter. They had none of the play until the dying stages. They just held on. It was a slog. You mentioned a slog. That's what it was.
It was so gutsy. They were under siege in that last quarter. The ball was locked in there. It was only the final minute they got it beyond halfway, really. Their defence stood up under immense pressure. Wynyard, well, they fought hard. They looked dead and buried in that game before the lightning delay, and suddenly they sparked to life. They charged at them. They left it all out there. They almost got there. They couldn't quite find that one final goal they needed in the last quarter. And in the end, Penguin held on for a famous victory. It was tight between these two sides all season. And fittingly, it was a close grand final. It went right down to the wire. What a battle that was in truly atrocious conditions.
Yeah, that's all you can term them, really. a gripping game, and just look at the emotion on both ends of the ledger. There's immediate despair from the Wynyard girls, and rightly so. Means so much to them, but just the joy on the faces of the Penguin team it's great, and it's why we love footy. And yeah, congratulations to all the Penguin Two Blues. This is a big win for them. Premiership is massive. Wynyard's been such a successful women's football team in recent times, so Penguin to bob up and get this done, I think it's huge for the club at large, and I'm sure they'll celebrate this one boisterously.
Yeah, no doubt. They've earned it. That was a battle. Such a physical game. You could see the players cramping up there, and to have that extra stoppage midway through the third and then have to go back out there, that just would have been so tough out there. And just fighting through, you could see the players just moody that point there, cramping up, couldn't move on the ground, and was still competing for the ball at ground level. It was an absolute battle of attrition. Wynyard nearly mowed them down. They just couldn't get that last quarter goal. Penguin holding on to win an absolute classic in the wet. It was as hard a fought a victory as you will see. Camera just being repositioned perhaps for the presentation there to come, be the way of the Penguin Two Blues. And
the medal, how would you go?
Well, it's a tough. I think I'd probably have to go Libby Haynes. Kicked 3, didn't she?
She might have actually.
She kicked all 3, and
3 goals in a low-scoring game too.
Given how hard it was, I think I'd probably have to give it to. There were plenty of good players on the day, but I think ultimately I would lean Libby Haynes for me. What about you?
Yeah, I think if you're looking at Penguin, it's probably her or Emily Saywood, I reckon, was their best on-baller.
Yep.
Yeah, probably agree with you. Wynyard, I think it'd be hard to look past Olivia Smith in terms of her work on ball. Jess Whelan also great, I thought, down back and provide a bit of pressure late on ball as the camera gets into position. The MC, Morgan Hughes, he's built for this sort of occasion, Morgan.
I'll let Morgs take you through the presentation here.
Firstly, congratulations to the Wynyard Footy Club, who were fantastic all season. I'd like to welcome anyone up to the Wynyard Footy Club. Firstly, all I understand my father is today. We've been pretty close all season, and another line under a so yeah, well done. Secondly, our girls couldn't be any more proud of it. The way we bounced back, pity the lot, couldn't come a bit earlier. Excellent, love the goals, so it's keep the heads on. On there, I'd like to praise the big side, big footy club, big shields, to say it's really firstly, the NWFL, Morgan and Gary, on ball, and today was a really good showcase for that for both sides. To Wynyard, to Keegan, Pete, Noah, Olivia, what a game of footy. You guys are the benchmark in women's football in the state probably, and I just want to say I know you wear the white ribbons for a reason, and someone out there be very, very proud of you guys today. Okay, so really well played. To our supporters and our sponsors, and everyone that follows us along the way, we've knuckled down and we've worked really hard. We hope you made us all proud today, and you guys deserve this one. So good job.
to number 12 from Penguin, Emily
Well, I'm quite speechless because that was a very tough game that we've been waiting all year for. So you've got goes up good. You guys are prepared, big credit. You've stuck it out. You did it for one person, and that's really good for you guys. So proud of you. You need to keep your heads up high. Shemai goes, let's go!
number 1, Marley Johnson. Number 3, Kirby Gibbons. Number 5, Mia Lee. Number 6, Joey Riddle. Number 8, Charlotte Dennis. Number 10, Tani Schultz. Number 11, Shania Brown. Number 13, Bethany Taylor. Number 14, Shania Saylor. Number 18, Libby Haynes. Number 21, Hannah Lee. Number 23, Danielle Radford. Number 25, Samantha Matthews. Number 26, Jessica Smith. Number 28, Imogen Moore. Number 31, Eliza Dennis. Number 33, Van Nation. Number 34, Jordan Curtin. Number 35, Marley Wood. And the captain, your best on ground today, number 12, Emily Sale. I now call upon NWFL President Gary Carpenter to present the pennant for the winning side today, and I'll also call upon the advocate Emily Clooney to present the cup. Your 2024 premiers.
There we are, Andrew Cooling. The 2024 NWFL Women's Premiers, the Penguin Two Blues.
And don't they love it? Joyous scenes post-game. They'll be celebrating long into the night, you'd suspect. The sweetest victory is always hard-earned, and that really was hard-earned today. A game that could have gone either way. Probably fair enough, given the work they did before the lightning break, and then were able to just steady themselves, hold their nerve, and claim a flag that they will long celebrate. It was an absolute battle out there. Emily Saywood named best of field for her work in midfield, and I can't argue too much with that. As I said, I would have gone Haynes, but I thought Saywood was magnificent in midfield all day. Her contested possession numbers would have been enormous.
Yeah, non-stop, all day, doing the hard work, dirt under the fingernails, and that's the sort of game it was. So I guess you're duly rewarding someone that typified the contest at large. So well done, Emily Sayward, of course, captain of this outfit, and well done to the Penguin 2 Blues on a terrific win and the premiership in 2024.
Indeed, that's all we've got for you here on the live stream coverage of the North West Women's Football League Grand Final. It will be one to remember for the Penguin 2 Blues. And Andrew calling with me, Damien Gill. It's been a pleasure bringing you the action. Until the next season in the NWFL, it's bye for now.